I've been so unbelievably lucky because I lived through and worked during the golden age of television news.
Strong words spoken by a man with a strong resume. Quinnipiac journalism professor Paul Friedman is a 40-year veteran of network television news who has held nearly every high-ranking job one can as a journalist. Executive producer of The Today Show, executive vice president of both CBS and ABC News, executive producer of World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. His journey began when he joined Princeton's radio station back in college.
I started out as a disc jockey on a jazz show, and then I started doing news and special events, and I guess the turning point was President Johnson came to the school to dedicate a building, and we did live coverage for hours, and I loved it.
Friedman went on to Columbia's Graduate School of Journalism and entered the workforce in 1967 as a writer for NBC Radio News. More than 40 years later, his reason for loving journalism is still the same.
I think it was the opportunity to show people what was going on in places that they might never get to.
And Friedman certainly did that, showing audiences of 12 to 14 million viewers what was going on around the world each day.
The Berlin Wall was pretty incredible, coming down, going to China and Russia and wars in the Middle East and riots in American cities and meeting every president since Johnson.
But while talking to Friedman, it became clear this dog-loving father of four really believes in the historic power of journalism, something he tries to instill in his students and his daughter, who is a producer at ABC News.
You can't have a viable democracy unless you have a public that's reasonably well informed.
As a professor, Friedman conducts his classes with a sarcastic yet sophisticated style, aiming to help each student improve as a writer.
By the end of the term, I see big improvement, and that's enormously satisfying, especially if you believe, as I do, that writing is the single most undervalued thing in the educational system and in journalism.
But is Professor Friedman at all similar to Producer Friedman?
Well, I yell a lot, but I don't curse quite as much, but my standards are high, and I think in the final analysis, people appreciate high standards.
High standards being something Friedman mentions a lot when talking about his career and his legacy.
I am proud of the fact that I will leave behind a bunch of people who know what they're doing and who have high standards and who care about the truth.
A family man, a professor, and a producer who has been following the same principles for more than 40 years.
I don't think I ever stopped insisting on high standards and good performance from people, and I think they profit from that, and I think the audience profits from that.
Taylor Popielarz, Q30 News.